Welcome, everyone, to the Side Draft Podcast, where we review NASCAR races of the top three series side by side. But through the week, we review drivers and talk why fans love them, review some of their stories and how they became fans of that driver. We had a Twitter vote of between a few drivers. Corey LaJoie and Brett Moffitt were two of them that was in there. I had a amazing battle between them in that Twitter vote. Looked like Brett Moffitt was going to win the race, but Corey LaJoie comes last lap and wins it all.
Yeah, it's really good to have the interaction with the fans voting. We appreciate all your votes, and it seemed like all the Corey LaJoie fans just showed up at the last minute, and he won the vote.
A lot of momentum for Corey LaJoie fans there. But a little bit about Corey LaJoie. For those who don't know, he drives for a team for both the Xfinity and NASCAR Cup Series, TriStar Motorsports. He's also won a few races in the ARCA Series and also in the K&N East Series. So he's no stranger to victory lane in those series. Still looking for that first win in the Cup Series and Xfinity Series, but I'm sure he's going to get there in no time.
Yeah, he's very talented. He drives very good. So it's just a matter of time he's going to be in victory lane.
Yep, and he drives a Chevy Camaro in the Cup Series, so some Chevy fans that love the Chevy. There's another reason for you to like him. We're going to talk about some fan stories coming up next. This one is from Jeff from Twitter. His Twitter username is TurtleLV. He says, got a chance to meet him last year, and he's just an all-around great person and talented driver. Came out of his hauler to meet us and talked a little bit this year and took time that he didn't need to.
Yeah, it's really good that the driver would come out of his hauler and greet the fans and really give him a good experience at the track. And, it's really good that, he's taking time out of his day just to give him a good experience.
This next one is from A. Hurst on Twitter. It says, I am a Corey LaJoie fan. Have had the pleasure of meeting him twice at the GoPro Motorplex for the Little 600. He's a really nice guy and great to talk with. Gave me a bottle of water the first year. I've kept it just because he gave it to me. Following year, I've had him autograph it for me. The water bottle is special and still sits in my karaoke cabinet as a special memory for me. Corey is a cool guy, and I'm happy to be his biggest fan. Wishing good luck to Corey, and I hope he sees this.
Wow, it's real special going to the GoPro Motorplex, the Little 600. You really meet a lot of drivers and talk to them. And Corey, he was there, and he was really nice to talk to. And how special! I mean, something small as a water bottle would mean so much to a fan that they would actually bring back next year and give him give him to sign it, and them to keep it.
Yeah, I really enjoy going to the GoPro Motorplex for the Little 600 every year. It's great to meet some drivers that you may know, like Corey LaJoie, Bubba Wallace, Noah Gragson, people like that. And also you get to meet some upcoming rising stars in NASCAR in the ARCA Series. We met Ryan Vargas the last time. A lot of nice guys coming up through the series, and NASCAR's in great hands.
It's really good to get to know the upcoming stars and, get to meet them before, they become big stars.
So that is all of the fan comments that we received this week. This episode's really special because we contacted Corey LaJoie's PR representative, Leanne Egoff. Follow her on Twitter, Egoff Leanne. I'll also put a link in the description. But she told me a lot of stuff about Corey LaJoie and from, her personal experience, why fans, would want to pull for Corey LaJoie. The first thing she said was Corey's he's very interactive with his fans, approachable, he's very laid back, down to earth, very quiet when you first meet him, but once you get to talk to him, he's really funny, tells a lot of jokes. Then, recently he went up to the stands during rain delay and New Hampshire, just hanging out with some fans.
Wow, it's really special that even in the rain he'll come out there and meet the fans. And yes, he does seem like he's real quiet. And then when you get to talk to him, and he starts to joke around with you a little bit, so it's a lot of fun.
Another thing that she was talking about is Corey LaJoie and his faith is really important to him. He's really a good Christian. Loves church. He loves going to church, and if he's not on the road, he's at church. Never misses church. He just, loves his faith. Loves loves everything about being with the church, being with, the people of the church, and just.
Yeah, it's really special that his priorities is the church, and don't want to hide it, and it's really good for him.
Yeah, I've seen a few tweets from him. God comes first, but I believe the fans are right there in second place.
Oh yeah.
So next up, he helps out with the Joy of Seating Company, which is something his dad created. That's a seat shop, making seats, refurbishing seats. So he loves to work on cars. Loves everything about machining these seats.
Yeah, I actually remember when Randy LaJoie started manufacturing these seats, and probably a lot of the drivers nowadays has that seat in their car.
Also, she pointed out he's a CrossFit fanatic, health nut. He loves to work out. A lot of fans could, they would like drivers that, are very inspiring for being healthy. We saw like Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, people like that also are like that. So Corey LaJoie has a lot in common with Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, because a lot of them get their bikes out and go riding and stuff, and he's in the CrossFit, and that's real high intense training there.
Yeah, and that type of training can help you, handle a race car. It can really help you in your career. As I stated, Corey LaJoie likes to work on cars on and off the track. It's a real grease monkey.
Yeah, he seems like he's pretty hands-on. Wants to jump in there and work on the cars.
She said that he had a Dodge Charger refurbishing that he got from Gas Monkey Richard Rawlings. So it's really interesting to learn more about the driver and what kind of cool cars they have. Really, it's like, wow, he drives that. He likes to work on that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's real neat. Getting to know these drivers and getting to know their hobbies. Just find out what they like to do on their off times, and there he is rebuilding cars.
I feel like it'd be really cool to just hang out with them, work on a car, and talk with them. It'd be a really cool fan experience.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's so knowledgeable on race cars and cars in general, he loves to build them, rebuild them. Takes good care of his team. He knows how to fix his car. Like she said, at one track he blew a tire, got in the wall, and he was out there helping them fix it up and get it back to where it's going. And he knows a lot how to, if his car's not handling well, he'll tell them the right things that he needs to make, the right adjustments, and helps them make it as well.
It's really good, he jump in there and help the team. It really helps that team gel, and it really encourages the team. Probably just, they say, wow, driver, get down there and help me too. So it's really good to see that, become like a family and you all work together.
I think that's a great leader quality, because the driver is probably the captain of a race team. I would say the second place would be a crew chief. Like the driver knows everything that happens with these cars. You can tell his crew chief how it feels and what needs to be made. So he's making the calls pretty much, and he's helping them make some good adjustments. And I think that's some good qualities of a future, possibly a Cup champion.
Yeah, because if you know how the car works and handles, and then how the pieces go together, you can kind of know what you need in the car.
And she pointed out that he bought tickets for the team to go to a basketball game one time.
Well, that's really neat, for a driver to kind of hang out with the team.
You taking good care of them. It's not like they're strangers to him. They're all great friends with him, and he gets down there with the oil and grease and helping them fix the car and making it better for the race. And I think that's a really good trait for him to have.
Yeah, really, the team is the unsung heroes. And they're behind the scenes. They're the one that builds the cars and gets them ready for the race. And a lot of times the drivers, they shine out. But it's always a team effort, and it's always good that he wants to be with the team.
She also pointed out that some old school fans love him because of his father, Randy LaJoie.
Yeah, I remember Randy running. He actually ran pretty good.
A few wins in Xfinity Busch Nationwide Series.
Yeah.
So, he's very well known with that last name, and I think Corey's going to make his dad proud.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing she pointed out, he just loves iRacing, and who doesn't, really? If you have a computer and enough money to have this tool, it's like a portal to meet these NASCAR drivers and race them. And, I've seen a few people race Corey LaJoie. I think he had like some sort of fan event where he raced them, and that's really cool interaction. You also get to learn more about the car itself, how it runs at certain tracks, and it can really improve your racing skills.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting how the car act on the track, and the braking, and how it handles in the turns, and it's a lot of fun just to race one of the drivers.
So if you have iRacing, you better check the entry list because Corey LaJoie might be there.
Just try not to wreck none of the drivers, because I ain't sure what hall you got to go to after that.
Go to the virtual hauler after the race. So that would be pretty bad, getting a fight with a fan just because they wrecked you in the video game.
Yeah. You're banned for the next week. You can't race.
What do you mean? You wrecked a guy in a video game? You have to sit out at this time. But yeah, that's a little bit about Corey LaJoie. Would like to thank Leanne for helping us find out some more interesting facts about him. Got to learn a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, it's really special. She's our very first PR rep on here, so really special to have her interaction on this.
It was really cool learning more about him. Yeah, I learned a lot, really, just because I didn't know that he was so involved with the race team, and it made me really respect him a little bit more, that he knows pretty much anything about these cars and how they should react. And I think eventually that team's going to get some good equipment, and they're going to be a threat.
Yeah, he's a very good driver, very talented, and they're going to get there, and I believe you see him in Victory Lane pretty soon. It's real special, these series to go through, really get and learn more about the drivers.
So that was all about Corey LaJoie. If you like a race car driver that's, he knows his cars, he loves to rebuild cars. If you're a person of faith, you might be attracted to him that way, and you might love him just because he interacts with the fans. There's a lot of fans that pull for drivers that's just because they're nice. So if any of these reasons are why you might love Corey LaJoie. So next week we'll be talking about Elliott Sadler. This was suggested by a fan. We didn't have to have a vote this week. A fan really wanted a Elliott Sadler video just because he announced his retirement. So we'll be talking about Elliott Sadler. If you are a fan of him, comment down below what made you become a fan, and maybe we'll get to learn more about Elliott Sadler.
Yeah, we really like having fan interaction on here too, it was really special for somebody to request Elliott Sadler. I mean, if you have a driver that you're interested in and like for us to talk about, and like to have a comment on, just let us know.
If you have any stories of how you met, your favorite driver, or why you became a fan of them from meeting them, we love those stories because you get to learn a lot more about how, they are when you meet them in person.
Mm-hmm.
So join us next week for the Elliott Sadler video. And if you have any driver that you would like for us to talk about, just suggest it and we'll eventually get around to it. We'll put that on our priority list.
Yes, we thank everybody for all the votes on Twitter, and we thank everybody for all the comments.
And once again, thank you, Leanne, for helping us out, supporting us, and very deeply appreciate it. And we'll see you next week on Why Fans Love Their Driver.